Hey y'all, get ready with me while I talk about Love is Blind, season 9, specifically Annie and Nick, and that whole conversation around being concerned if your kids are gay. Believe it or not, this is actually a common concern amongst parents and future parents. I was a little taken aback by it being a concern for this age group, but if Annie was my client or Nick or whatever, and I was in like a parenting group with them, I would want to unpack their concerns. So are you concerned that if your kid is gay, they're going to get bullied? Are you concerned about HIV? Are you concerned that you don't have the sex education to help your child navigate these feelings? What is it? And so from there, I would engage in a conversation with Annie and Nick and try to figure out, okay, they need sex education resources. They need to understand that, oh my gosh, a 13-year-old has crushes. An 8-year-old gets crushes. I remember my first crush. It was Leonardo DiCaprio. He is not my crush anymore. I find that man vile and disgusting. But anyway, if I was to watch Growing Pains again, I'd be like, oh yeah, I remember that time in my life. That's a whole other situation. So yeah, did I know what sex was when I was having these feelings? No. Luckily, I had age-appropriate sex education throughout my life. So say Annie's concern was about bullying. Oh my God, I don't want my kid to be bullied. Well, let's look at your community. Are there other LGBTQ resources in the community? What does your school provide as far as sex education goes? There are a lot of resources, and yes, it was very shocking to hear someone of this age group being like, oh my God, I don't want my kids to be gay, but clearly my husband might. I don't mean to like joke about his sexuality, but that's the discourse that's going on right now, and that's a whole other conversation. Outing people is kind of not my thing. I don't like doing it to, not Mitch McConnell, oh my God, I'm blanking on his name. The other one, the South Carolina one. Lindsey Graham. Oh my God, Lindsey Graham is so gay. It's like, well, okay, we're not normalizing gay culture. When we do that, we're kind of also bullying him, and we're keeping him in the closet by doing stuff like that. But anyway, I'm losing my train of thought. So yeah, navigating her concerns without overreacting. If I was her sex educator and I overreacted, she's going to get defensive. So I really want to slowly progress people into being comfortable with just talking about sex in general, especially if it comes to talking about it with future children and all of that kind of stuff. But then, and then specifically, okay, hey, you need resources for a specific sexual identity, a specific gender identity, maybe just things that you have never even heard of before. I'm sure that there's new terms that I have no knowledge of. And honestly, like whatever the kids are talking about, like it would be weird for me to know some things. Like obviously as a sex educator, I need to be up with the times, but I also don't want to be in that culture. That's where like boundaries get crossed and stuff, but you still have to come together. So yeah, I see all the discourse online about Annie and Nick, but as a sexual health educator, I just wanted to chime in and give my 2 cents about how to move the needle forward and how to slowly progress with sex education. All right. Hopefully my jumbled thoughts while I get ready for trivia night were helpful to y'all. I'll try to maybe type something up so that it's a little more detailed, but yay, sex education, emeraldsexualhealth.com.